Good afternoon and happy Saturday, one and all. The song stuck in my head today is End of the Line by the Traveling Wilburys. What does that have to do with anything, you might be wondering? Well, not much, but anyway. This is the Strat-O-Matic 1966 full season replay. We got a game today, Detroit Tigers at New York Yankees, the second of a three-game set. Yankees won the first game. In fact, the Yankees have won 3 in a row, which is saying something when you have the worst record in baseball at 21-37. Tigers have dropped 2 straight and are in danger of falling back to the 500 mark. 30-29 is their record. Detroit's season has been pretty much a case of 2 steps forward, 1 step back for the most part. And today, 2 lefties will toe the rubber. Hank Gary for Detroit, Al Downing for the Yankees. Let's take a look at the numbers. Gary 2-5, 5.55 ERA. He split time equally between starting and relief. 47 innings of work. He's been touched up for 60 hits, including 11 home runs. So it's been a rough go for Gary. The card, while not stellar, isn't that bad. So you'd have to say that Gary has underproduced his card or underperformed his card. Al Downing for the Yankees, 3-4, 3.95. This is his 11th start. He has 2 complete games, including a shutout. 68 1/3 innings of work, 64 hits, 51 strikeouts. Looking in on the chat, no one has commented yet. Anyway, welcome to everybody. So we've gone over the starting pitchers. Let's go ahead and get you the Tigers lineup. We'll get this game started. At third base, Dick McAuliffe leads it off. He's followed by Dick Tracewski at second. Norm Cash at first base bats third. Al Kaline in center field bats fourth. Willie Horton will be in left field. Jim Northrup is in right field. Bill Freehan, the catcher, hits 7th. Ray Euler is at short once again, and Hank Gary, the pitcher, a switch hitter, in the 9 spot. The umpires for today's game: Jim Odom behind the plate, Larry Knapp at first, Lou DeMuro at second, and John Rice at third. Just a minute from game time here. Hello, Joel, and hello to Mike. Hope everyone's having an enjoyable weekend. I was out most of the day, frankly. And on the way home, I picked up some of that Houston hot chicken. So I had 1 piece for lunch and 1 piece for after the game. Trying to think what else I could cover. Well, you can see here my pen ran out of ink making out the scorecard, so I had to get a new pen. Who's hot and who's not? Dick McAuliffe in his last 10, 275, but 5 home runs, 9 RBIs in the last 10 days. So McAuliffe with a power display. And he'll lead off the ball game against the lefty Al Downing. Give it another minute for folks to trickle in. It's not quite 1:30 or 2:30 Steve time. Ah, the unmitigated gall. Nice to have you here, guys. Unmitigated, of course, for the Tigers. Kind of expected Ben today with the Tigers playing. Who else is for the Tigers? We got quite a few Tiger fans in this chat group. Is anybody for the Yankees? What do you got there, Mookie? A screw? Where did you get that from? Do I even want to know? Something's got a screw loose and Mookie has it. Hello, Brian Morris. Welcome. Mike, definitely not for the Yankees. Well, I'm not either, to be honest, but, you know, I try to keep it fair. I do like Al Downing, always did. Okay, McAuliffe, the hot man, up at the plate first as we get ready to play the game. Hitting .227 overall, the 5 homers in his last 10 days puts him at 11 home runs now. That's third on the team, 24 RBIs. Lefty-lefty matchup for Downing. Here's the pitch on a 2-6, and he walks him, and we are underway. A leadoff walk to McAuliffe, who is among the league leaders in that category. For McAuliffe, that's his 39th base on balls of the season. Downing with an excellent -4 hold, so McAuliffe not a threat to run. And here's the second baseman, Dick Tracewski. Tracewski just 1 for 10. He hasn't played much, but he has played second the last few games. 1 for 10 with a walk. Downing out of the stretch. On a 1-9 left-handed, he grounds it wide of second. Richardson has it, throws it to Pepitone, and on the play, McAuliffe will take second. So ground ball C to Richardson. And here's Stormin Norman Cash. Cash hitting .264, a dozen homers, 31 RBIs. Downing into the windup on a 4-5 left-handed, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Cash, and it'll be up to his brother of Bengal belting, Al Kaline. Who remembers that baseball card, Cash Kaline, the Bengal Belters? I think it was 69, 70, or 71 card. I used to have it. I might still have it in a box somewhere. I'd have to dig through some stuff. Kaline hitting .328 rather on the season. 9 home runs, 35 RBIs. Taking his lead is McAuliffe. Downing comes in there with a 1-7 and loses him ball 4. Second walk of the inning. And that's going to get Willie Horton to the plate here in the first inning. Horton leads the club in everything. .346 average, 15 home runs, 39 runs batted in, all in just 153 at-bats. Downing checks the runners. The pitch to Willie Horton, 210 left-hander. The ball is drilled to deep left center. White and Mantle converge at the wall. Gone. Home run, Willie Horton. And just like that, the Tigers jump out to a 3-0 lead. McAuliffe and Kaline score ahead of him. 3 big RBIs for Horton, 40, 41, and 42 on the season, on his 16th home run. So Horton now among the league leaders in home runs and RBIs. He'd be among the batting leaders, but he doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify. That'll bring up the right fielder, Jim Northrup, hitting .243. 7 doubles, 7 triples, 7 home runs, 27 RBIs. The man of many sevens. The pitch from Downing, 2-5 left-handed. Fly ball to deep right field. Maris backs up and just shy of the track hauls it in. That ends the top of the first, but 3 for the Tigers on the 3-run blast by Willie Horton. And after half an inning of play, it's Detroit 3, New York coming to bat. Hey there, Ernest. Welcome. Yeah, they were getting old and hadn't quite adjusted yet. They definitely felt the loss of their shortstop, Kubek. Bear with me a minute. I want to see if I can find something. If I can't find my card, there it is. It's a 1967 Topps. Ready? Oh yeah, I'm not making this stuff up. 1967 Topps number 216. Bengal Belters. How about that? We aim to please. Yeah, I had that card. Like I say, I still might. I've got a couple of boxes of baseball cards. Okay. As a Gary gets loose, let's go ahead and give you the Yankees lineup. Tom Tresh leads it off at third base. Bobby Richardson at second. Mickey Mantle in center field bats third. Roger Maris in the cleanup spot in right. Joe Pepitone is the first baseman. Elston Howard back in the lineup at catcher. Clete Boyer at short and Roy White in left round out the lineup with Downing hitting at ninth. Oh wow, is that a fact unmitigated? You know, I must have known that, but yeah, there's my short-term memory again. Rest in peace, both of them. Yes, indeed. What's all that noise, Mookie? Wonder if my new neighbor's moving in yet. Okay, here's a Gary, left-handed pitcher. Tom Tresh will lead it off for the Yankees. Tresh hitting .212. Leads the club in homers with 13 and is tied for the team RBI lead with 33. Tied with Pepitone, of course. Switch hitter batting right-handed. Here's the pitch from McGarry. It's a 4-8 right-handed liner to short, single to two. That is caught by Euler. The Tresh hit it right at Euler, one away. And here's the second baseman, Bobby Richardson. Richardson leads the club in hitting at .273. 5 home runs, 22 RBIs. McGarry the pitch. It's a 2-7 lefty. Routine grounder to short. Euler scoops it up and throws him out. That'll bring up the Mickey Mantle, batting right-handed. On the season, Mantle at .247, 8 home runs, 25 RBIs. The pitch from McGarry, 4-5 right-handed. He lifts it the other way to right field. Northrup drifts over and makes the catch, and it's a clean 1-2-3 inning for McGarry. So after one inning of play, 3-0 Tigers. Here on a gloomy Saturday. I tell you what, guys, I've got to get out of here for a while this winter, somewhere. I don't know where. I got to find somewhere cheap. I know, a tall order these days. As Al Downing takes the mound to begin the second inning. Bill Freehan will lead it off for the Tigers. Freehan hitting just .205, 5 home runs, 20 runs batted in. The windup and the pitch on a 6-8 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Second K for Downing. And here's the shortstop, Ray Euler, in there for his glove, hitting just .175. Downing's pitch on a 6-6. That's a base hit. Triple to 2. That's going to be a single for Euler. Feels like Euler's been getting some hits lately, doesn't it? Despite that 175 average. 11 for 63, now 12 for 64. Here's a Gary, a switch hitting pitcher. A C bunter. He'll bat right-handed against Downing with 1 out. He's going to try to lay it down. On a C, it's a 9. That is going to be... He hits it too hard. Sorry, he nubs it in front of the plate, I should say. Fielded by the catcher, Elston Howard, who goes down to Boyer for the force. So Gary bunted it a little bit too hard. Runner at first, 2 away. It'll be up to McAuliffe, who walked and scored in the first. Downing out of the stretch on a 2-9. Called strike 3, and that'll do it. 2 Ks in the inning for Downing. No runs to hit, 1 left for Detroit. See, now that's a possibility. Because I have a cousin in Sarasota. Well, I could stay with him at least part of the time. Or I could go visit my buddies down in Southern California. House hop between the 2 of them until they get tired of me, then I'd have to find a place to stay. One good thing about Eric's house, those of you who remember when I was down there last September, early October, he's got an office with a computer desk set up that's perfect for streaming my game. Three to nothing, bottom of the second. Roger Maris will start it off for New York. Maris hitting just 192, 6 home runs, 26 RBIs. Lefty-lefty matchup for Aguirre. Here's the pitch. It's a 6-9 left-handed, and he loses in ball 4. A leadoff walk to Roger Maris. Starts off the bottom of the second. Maris, no threat to run. Good base runner. No stolen base rating at all. And here's Pepitone, sharing the RBI lead with Tresh at 33. Pepitone comes in with a 268 average and 8 home runs. Aguirre from the windup. That's going to be a 5-7. Grounder second base X. This could be 2. Trzaskowski a 247. Here's the play. On a 2, he can't get it. Knocks it down and has no play. That's going to go as an infield single for Pepitone. Stopping at second is Roger Maris. Still some big names in the Yankee lineup, but the production just has not been there. They come into the game with just 229 runs scored compared to 283 for the Tigers. First and second, nobody out. Here's Elston Howard. Howard batting 247, 5 home runs, 20 RBIs. Aguirre checks the runner, the full windup, the pitch on a 2-10 left-handed hard grounder to short. It's going to be Euler to Trzaskowski to Cash. Double play, 6-4-3. Maris winds up at third. And with 2 down, it'll be up to the shortstop, Clete Boyer. Boyer hitting 245, 5 home runs, 21 RBIs. Here's Aguirre's pitch now on a 2-8 left-handed. He pops him up left side. It's Euler. Calls it and makes the catch, and that'll do it in the second. No runs to hit, 1 left. And we've got 2 innings in the books. It's 3-0 Tigers. Checking in on the chat here real quick. He has been hot lately, hasn't he? I wish I could remember what his average was before his current mini streak, let's call it. Probably hitting barely over $1. He's up to 175 and counting. One thing's for sure, with this particular lineup, the Tigers don't get much offense out of the middle infield. Frankly, I kind of liked it better with Lumpy at second and McAuliffe at short. I wonder if something's wrong with Don Wirt at this time of the year. We haven't seen Wirt for a while, although he is available to come off the bench in my replay. Anyway, on to the third. Downing's ready to go to work. Trzaskowski at the plate. Pitch from Downing on a 5-7 right-handed second base X. That's the Gold Glover Richardson, 117. To his left on an 8. That's the E-range. It's a 5 on a 17, and his throw pulls Pepitone off the bag. That's going to be an error on Bobby Richardson. Not very often that Richardson blows in X play. That is his 6th error of the year, however, and that'll bring up the heart of the lineup. Coming up to bat is the left-handed hitter, Norm Cash. Downing from the stretch. Pitch to Cash on a 3-9 lefty. He struck him out. Cash strikes out for the second time. And here come the right-handers. Al Kaline with Willie Horton on deck. Kaline walked in the first. Downing checks the runner. Now comes to the plate 4-5 righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Downing. That's his 4th strikeout of the game, and it will be up to Willie Horton. Of course, Horton in the first plated all 3 runs in the game so far with a 3-run home run. Downing pitching carefully, runs the count full. Now the runner going. The pitch is a 6-3 righty. It's a high fly ball to deep left. Backing up is White at the track, at the wall. Gone! Willie Horton strikes again. Holy cow, look at that, would you? A 2-run blast for Horton. Makes it 5-0, and Horton, the early favorite for player of the game, with 2 homers and 5 RBIs, and we're only in the 3rd inning. For Horton, his 17th home run of the season. And now, bear with me, because I'm going to have to look at the leaders. Looking at the league leaders in home runs. That puts him alone in 2nd place behind Frank Robinson in the American League. Robbie with 18, Horton now is 17. Tied with 16, Powell, Reichart, Whitfield, and Harmon Killebrew. Two away, here's Northrup. Northrup flew to right his first time up. The windup in the pitch from Downing is a 2-8 ground ball to second. Routine for Richardson. Throws him out, and that'll do it. But 2 more for the Tigers on a 2-run shot by Willie Horton. Horton, a 1-man offense today. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, 5-0 Tigers. I take it you didn't miss both of them I mitigated. At least I hope not. White, Downing, and Tresh to bat in the bottom of the 3rd. Roy White on the year. .252 average, 5 homers, 16 RBIs. Batting right-handed against Aguirre. The pitch is a 6-7 grounder to short, fielded by Euler. Throws to Cash, 1 down. Gary now with a 5-run lead. He's throwing strikes coming right after these guys. Downing, a right-handed hitter. 111, struck him out. Not surprisingly. First strikeout for Aguirre, and with 2 down, Tom Tresh is the hitter. Tresh, batting righty. The pitch on a 2-7, struck him out. 1, 2, 3 go the Yankees. 2 strikeouts for Aguirre. And after 3 innings of play, it's all Tigers, 5-0. as Al Downing takes the mound for the fourth. Downing, like a Gary, rated 7 for starter endurance. It'll be the bottom third for the Tigers, starting off with Bill Freehan. Freehan struck out in the second. Downing gets the sign from Howard. The pitch to Freehan is a 5-5 right-handed grounder to short X. That's going to be a tough chance for Boyer, 319. That is a 14, and he's got it and throws him out. Nice play, Boyer. Boyer, a 1/3 baseman. I have to think he took over at short simply because the Yankees had no other options. Here's Euler now. He has a hit today. He singled in the second. Downing comes in with a 3-5. Struck him out. Fifth strikeout for Downing. Here's a Gary batting right-handed. On a 5-4 righty. Fly to center field X. Mantle on his horse. 4-E-3. Here's the play. On a 17, he makes a fine running catch for the out. Nice play, Mantle. He could still cover some ground, it seems. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers in the fourth. First clean inning for Downing. Yeah, we played 3.5. And welcome in Richard. That reminds me, I got some pictures from Richard. I was only able to post one, but since that time, Richard converted the files from TIF to JPG, so I'll have some more pictures to add. If you go to my main page and scroll all the way down to the bottom under posts, there's a picture of Richard, his mom, and his brother in front of, is it Griffith Stadium? The old Los Angeles park. 1955, a year before I was born. Yes, that's right. So far it's Horton 5, Yankees nothing. Bobby Richardson will lead it off here as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Richardson 0 for 1. A Gary into the windup. That's a 2-7 left-handed. Routine grounder to short. Euler again. Euler's been busy at short today as he throws him out for the first out. Here's the Mick now, 0 for 1. The pitch from a Gary. 6-6 right-handed. That's ripped into the gap. Double to 16. And he will be in there with a double. So it's a 1-out double for Mantle. Just the second hit for New York. And up steps Roger Maris. Maris with really a terrible card against lefties. Here comes the pitch on a 6-7. High fly ball to center. Playable for Kaline. He gloves it for the second out. And Mantle retreats to the bag. It'll be up to Pepitone. Pepitone singled in the second. The pitch from a Gary is a 6-8 left-handed. Grounder down to first. Cash will take it to the bag. And that'll do it. No runs to hit, a man left. Gary very much on his game today. And after 4, the score remains the same. Are you an Al Downing fan, Richard? You seems like you would be. Hang on, here's the message from Richard. The old Wrigley Field, home of the Pacific Coast Los Angeles Angels. So what was the name of the other ballpark again? Somebody just told me this. This is how bad my short-term memory is these days. Was it Griffith? Griffin? Somebody will get it. Yeah, the Hollywood Stars. Hello, Gerald, and welcome in here on a Saturday. Good to have you. Gilmore. There it is. Thank you, Richard. Starts with a G. Okay, here's McAuliffe to lead off the fifth. Left on left match up for Downing. The pitch on a 4-8. Two Hopper to second. Richardson to Pepitone. There's Trzaskowski now 0 for 2. The windup, the pitch from Downing on a 2-8 left-hander. He lifts it to center, playable for Mickey Mantle, who makes the catch for the second out. Downing settling in now. Here's Cash. The windup and the pitch on a 1-11. Grounder down to first. Pepitone gloves it. Throws to Downing covering, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Downing, who's now retired 7 in a row. Gary taking the mound. Bottom of the fifth inning, Elston Howard to start things off. Gary into the windup. It's a 2-6 lefty. Liner to third, single to 4. That is going to be speared by McAuliffe. Liner to third, one away, and here is Boyer. Oh, how cool, Gerald. Thank you for that. Yeah, I used to watch that show. Hello, Dave09. Richard says no, the Derby was in Wrigley. So we have a discrepancy here. Anyway, I forgot about that. Oh, of course, we all used to watch that show, I'm sure. I know I did. Boyer popped to short his first time up. Pitch from McGarry's a 4-7 right-handed, and Boyer lines that one into left field for a single. Here comes Roy White, the switch hitter batting right-handed. McGarry out of the stretch. It's a 6-7 righty. Grounder to short. That's going to be 2. It's Euler to Trzaskowski to Cash. Double play. So for the second time in the ball game, Gary gets the double play ball when he needs it. I bet they have those on YouTube too. Has anyone ever looked? I'm going to have to write that down. Give me a second here, or I'll forget. Where's my notepad? Gotcha, Richard. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get those up. I was out most of the day today. I didn't have a chance to play around with the computer. Okay, it's the sixth inning, still 5-0. Kaline, Horton, and Northrup due against Gentleman Al Downing. Downing into the windup. The pitch to Kaline on a 5-11 right-handed grounder, first base X. That's the Gold Glover Pepitone, a 1-8. To his right, here's the play on a 7. It's a 5 on an E8, and it's an error on Pepitone on that dreaded 5. E3, second error for New York. For Pepitone, his 4th error of the season. And here's Willie Horton, who's done all the damage in this game. Homered in the 1st, homered in the 3rd. He's driven in all 5 runs in the ball game. Downing out of the stretch. 1-8 left-handed. Struck him out. Called strike 3. The Yankees are struggling, Dave. Even more so. Well, they were in last place in real life. And even given that, they're 5 games off of their real life pace. In real life, they had 26 wins by this point in the season. 1 out, here's Northrop. From the stretch, it's a 1-10. Fly ball the other way to left. White is there to make the catch, and there's 2 away. So the inning should be over, not for the error by Pepitone. And here's Bill Freehan. Downing's pitch to Freehan on a 6-8, swung on and missed, strike 3. No runs, no hits, a man left. There was an error. Let's add him up now for Downing. I think he's piling up some Ks. 4, 5, 6 strikeouts for Downing. Oh, outstanding, Ernest. Thank you. I know what I'm going to be doing this evening. Bottom of the 6th, Yankees, they need to get on the board, don't they? God, I hate to take Downing out, but we really have to. Remember, the Yankees' pen has been kind of a mess. Downing goes 6 today. Only allowed 3 hits, but thanks to Horton, 5 runs. Walked a pair, struck out 6. Who's gonna bat? Could be Lopez. They need to get somebody on base. It's going to be Horace Clark, the pinch hitter. Yes, 7:15. They just showed that on the MLB channel the other day, when Harold Reynolds was interviewing Hank Aaron's widow. Hello, Colin Barrett. Let's see what we got here. Interesting, Ernest. Clark on the year, mostly as a pinch hitter, 11 for 28. That's a 393 average. Switch hitter hitting righty. Gary with the pitch on a 110. Pops him up right side. Richardson will take it. And Clark is retired to open the bottom of the 5th. Pedro Ramos throwing in the Yankee bullpen, and here's Tom Tresh. The pitch from Gary's a 4-8 righty. Liner to short, single to 2. That's going to be caught by Euler. Two down, and here is Bobby Richardson. Richard grounded to short both times. Gary with the pitch on a 5-7 right-handed. Grounder second base X. Trzaskowski will be tested again. 247. Here's the play on a 19. He gobbles it up and throws to cash to retire the side. Nice play by Trzaskowski at second. 1, 2, 3 go the Yankees, and Hank Aguirre is having his best game of the season so far. Interesting, Richard. So it was Joe Black in the 52 series. I tell you, it's wonderful to talk to someone who actually has personal memories of 50s baseball. Born in 56, of course, I have none. But I used to read about it a lot when I was in high school. I read everything they had. Everything at the high school library, and then I went to the local library and gobbled up everything they had. We go to the 7th inning, all Tigers. Pedro Ramos will come on for the Yankees, right-handed pitcher. Ramos on the year, 0-2, 4 saves, but a 5.40 ERA, just 23 innings of work. And Ray Euler will start it off. Mookie's in the cheap seats, waiting for his close-up. Here's the pitch to Euler. Right-hander deals, 6-7 righty, second base X. Richardson, 117, ranges behind the bag, scoops it up, twists and fires to Pepitone, 1 down. Nice play, Richardson. And here's Aguirre. He's a switch hitter. He'll turn around and bat left-handed against Ramos. 4-8, and he rips that one into the right center gap. He's going to take 2. Aguirre in with a 1-out double. Holy crap. Aguirre chipping in with the bat. And that's going to bring up Dick McAuliffe. 0 for 2 with a walk today. In case you missed the start of the game, McAuliffe with 5 home runs in the last 10 days. Ramos for the 6-5 left-handed grounder, shortstop X. Boyer will be tested again, 319. Here's the play. On a 7. He makes the play and looks the runner back and throws him out. Nice play, Boyer. That's 2 fine plays at short by Boyer. And it will be up to Trzaskowski. Ramos comes in with a 1-8, swung on and missed, strike 3. No runs ahead, a man left. As we go to the stretch, it's all Horton. 5-0 Tigers. And when we return, the first endurance inning for Aguirre. What's the score? It's Herb's score. Oh my goodness, this is good stuff. Richard was listening to the game when Gil McDougald hit score in the eye. There were definitely some colorful players in the old days. All right, we're going to take a short break for the stretch. I'm going to refill my coffee, and we'll see what Mookie's up to. Let's take a look. There he is. ostensibly motionless. What are you doing, Mookie? Mookie! Mookie! Hey, buddy. Oh, man, you listened to The Perfect Game? Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. Yeah, you can see what it's like here today. Gloomy as hell. Okay, let's get this set up. I'll have Sunday off this week, of course, as usual. I'll be back with you on Monday for another game. This one's all Tigers. And the story, Willie Horton and Hank Aguirre. Aguirre, remember, came into this game with an ERA of 5.55. He's thrown 6 scoreless, and as we go to the bottom of the 7th, he'll be looking at the heart of the Yankee batting order. Okay, here's Mantle to lead it off. Mantle 1 for 2. Aguirre gets the sign. Here's the pitch on a 5-7 right-handed grounder to second base X. Trzaskowski again. 247. Here's the play. It's a 14, and he gobbles it up and throws to Cash for the out. Another nice play by Trzaskowski. That'll bring up Maris. Maris walked in the second, flew to center in the fourth. Here's the pitch now on a 3-3 left-handed routine grounder to second. Trzaskowski again gobbles it up and throws him out. So the middle infield for the Tigers, very busy today. Aguirre's just throwing worm killers up there. Here's Pepitone 1 for 2. The pitch, 2-4 lefty. He goes the other way, lifts it to left field. Horton drifts over and puts it away. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Aguirre. That must have been like, well, not quite as bad, I guess, because he didn't die, but when I heard of the death of Roberto Clemente, makes me think of that. Oh, yeah, Colin, Leo the Lip. Eighth inning. Heart of the order for Detroit. Cash will lead it off. Ramos out there for his second inning of relief as he goes into the windup. The pitch to Cash is a 2-6 right-handed. Liner to second, single to 4, and that's going to squirt through, and that's a base hit for Norm Cash, his first hit of the day. How about that? Good stuff, Richard. Keep it coming. Was that the TV show Campanella? By any chance? Or maybe I'm thinking of Petrocelli. Sometimes we get down a rabbit hole here talking about the old TV shows. Runner at first, nobody out for K-line. Ramos from the stretch now. 2-8, that's ripped into right center. Double to 3. That's going to be a 2-star single with Cash advancing to third. That's going to get him stirring again in the Yankee pen. Hal Reniff begins to throw. Reniff, a right-hander. Infield at double play depth for K-line. On a 2-7 righty. He rips that one to right field into the gap. That gets past Maris and to the wall. That's going to be extra bases. Cash can walk home. They can send K-line. 14, Maris a -2 arm, 12. They're going to hold him up. So K-line will stop at third on a double by Horton. And it's 6-0, and once again, Horton with the RBI. He's driven in all 6 of the Tiger runs today. Wait a minute, that isn't right. I was still looking at K-line's card. 2-7 right-hander. So 2-7 here is a single 2 stars. Triple on a 4. Oh my God, it gets better. Horton has the triple. Okay, just to be sure, since no one's corrected me. We're going to do a quick replay review here. Two 8 was K-line. And then I failed to turn, yep, just as I thought. I failed to flip the card. My apologies. So the 2-7 roll was for Horton, and on the 1, he gets the triple. 7-0, all 7 runs driven in by Horton. Infield in now for Northrop. On a 2-4 right-handed. Foul ball back of the plate. Howard has it. And that's the first out. Infield will remain in for Freehan. Hal Reniff is ready in the Yankee pen. Freehan 0 for 3 today. Ramos gets his sign. 4-7. Base hit into right field. That's going to drive in Horton. And somebody other than Horton has driven in a run. And that man is Bill Freehan. And that's going to do it for Ramos. Houck has seen enough. He's going to go to Reniff. With the score so lopsided, I thought about letting Ramos go. But the 4th hit of the inning chases him. Here's Euler now. Still just one away. Freehand at first. 4-8 right-handed, and he walks Euler. Player of the game, he's going to be the player of the week. 2 homers, a triple, 7 RBIs. With the score 8-0, Gary's going to swing away. 4-3 lefty, grounder third base X, that's Tresh. Tresh 323, here's the play. On an 11, that's the E range. It's an 8 on a 23. He's got it. Goes to Richardson for 1. Nice turn to first, double play. 5-4-3 X, that ends the inning. But the Tigers add on 3 on 4 hits, leave a pair. And it's officially a laugher. The only question now is, can a Gary go the distance? He's in his second endurance inning as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Howard, Boyer, and White due up. Elston Howard 0 for 2 today. Gary, the windup and the pitch is a 5-8 right-handed high fly ball to center. K-line is there to make the play. That'll bring up Cleet Boyer. Boyer 1 for 2. Gary getting the sign from Freeman. Here's the pitch. 112 lefty, and he loses him ball 4. 1 out walk to Boyer here at the bottom of the 8th, and here's Roy White. Pitch to White, 3-6 left-handed. Grounder to short. Euler to Trzaskowski to first, not in time. White beats it out. 6-4 fielder's choice. And we'll have a pinch hitter now for Reniff. Looking to catch lightning in a bottle. Hector Lopez will be the hitter. Lopez does not have a home run. Gary with the pitch. 2-6 pops him up left side. Euler waiting on it, and that's going to do it. We've played 8. It is 8-0 Tigers. Now we need a mop-up man for the Yankees. Getting the mop-up duty, it's going to be Stan Bonson. Bonson, a computer-only card. You know, let's get him a toaster oven unmitigated. We gotta upgrade the prize for Horton. I tell you, I think he's even eclipsing the performance by a Gary, and he's pitching a shutout. Bonson, a right-handed pitcher. He's only been in 1 game, pitched 1 inning. Top of the order for Detroit. McAuliffe will start it off. Bonson gets the sign. That's going to be a 3-6 righty. Struck him out. Here's Trzaskowski now. Bonson into the windup. 1-7. He walks him. So Bonson walks the light-hitting Dick Trzaskowski with one down. And here comes the heart of the order. Clean up on aisle 9 indeed. Norm Cash 1 for 4. Bonson out of the stretch. 2-8 right-handed. He pops him up right side. Pepitone will take it. And there's 2 down. Here's K-line. Horton standing in the on-deck circle. Bonson's pitch to K-line on a 6-5. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. White back at the track, at the wall. It's off the wall for extra bases. Trzaskowski can try to score on that. Double to center. Mantle a -3. Trzaskowski 14-16, -3, 13. And they're going to hold him up with an 8-run lead. If it was close, I'd send him, but the truth of the matter is, I'd rather get Willie Horton to the plate one more time. Wouldn't you? Horton, a 3-run homer in the first, a 2-run homer in the third, struck out in the 6th, and then came back with a 2-run triple in the 8th. Bonson into the windup. 3-6, liner to second, single to 8. It's going to be caught by Richardson, and Horton is robbed of a base hit. So the Tigers strand a pair in the 9th. Then we go to the bottom of the 9th. Hank Aguirre looking for a complete game shutout. Aguirre does not have a complete game this year, and this is his 8th start. Richard did some research on Roy Campanella Jr. I did not know any of this stuff, Richard. Okay, here we go. Top of the order for New York. I want to thank everybody for being here today. On a dark and gloomy day in Spokane. Nice to have you guys with me to cheer me up a bit. Tresh will lead it off. He's 0 for 3, batting right-handed against Aguirre. The pitch on a 4-6 right-handed. He lines that one into left field for a base hit. Just in case, the left-hander Johnny Padres begins to toss in the Tigers' pen. Here's Bobby Richardson 0 for 3. Aguirre out of the stretch. That's going to be a 5-6. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Fans Bobby Richardson for the first out. And up steps Mickey Mantle. Mantle 1 for 3 with a double. Aguirre checks the runner. Now comes to the plate, 5'11" righty. Grounder to first X. This could do it. Cash is a 218. This could be 2. Here's the play. On a 1. He can't get it. That's going to be an infield single. Tresh stopping at second. And now one more hit or walk will fatigue Aguirre. The batter is Maris. If the game was closer, I'd probably pinch hit here, but we're going to let Maris hit. Padres just about ready in the Tiger pen. Here comes the pitch to Maris. It's a 3-12. Grounder to first base. Cash has it this time to Euler for 1. Back to Cash. 3-6-3, and that's the ball game, and Aguirre gets his shutout. How about that? Quite a game for the Tigers fans. A complete game shutout by Aguirre, and he's not even the player of the game. With the win, he's 3-5. 8-0 is the final. Yes, SO. Well, no. The game for the 2025 cards will be out in February. The latest set you can get is the 2024 set. Are you new to Strat-O-Matic, SO? Player of the game is Horton. An honorable mention to a Gary. But Horton with 11 total bases, 3 runs, 7 RBIs. Thank you, Richard. Have a great night, man. Gary pitched a 5-hit shutout, and he's not even the player of the game. A thunderous performance by Willie Horton. And a fan favorite at that. Fan favorite Willie Horton. 2, 3 strikeouts for Gary. Al Downing takes the loss. He drops to 3-5. Ramos in his inning in the third gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, no walks and a strikeout. Reniff walked 1 and threw up a double play grounder. Bonson in his inning, 1 hit, no runs, a walk, and a strikeout. I should write that out, huh? You know, I thought about that unmitigated. I never do this. But you kind of have to, don't you? Oh, I did circle Northrop. What a line for Horton. He didn't hit for the cycle, but he had more total bases than the cycle. Tigers end up with 8 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Yankees, no runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. Okay, so 2 of the runs were unearned on Downing. Excuse me, right here. I was looking at that. Checking to see about the errors. That error did not factor. So the corrected line for Downing. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. No game tomorrow. On Monday, we'll be back with, let's look it up, Philadelphia Phillies at St. Louis Cardinals. Bob Buell for the Phillies, Al Jackson for the Cardinals. Was scratched out, Northrop. We don't want any confusion. Hell, we know who the player of the game was. And Dave points out that Horton only had 1 7 RBI game in his career in 1970 versus Milwaukee. Good job, Dave. I love this kind of stuff. And with that, I'm going to get out of here and finish my lunch. Lopsided game, but yet it was a fun one today. So I thank you all again for being here. Have a great evening, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and hopefully I'll see you on Monday. Take care, everybody.